Hey there, all. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining me here tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time where we can relax and craft together and work on a craft project for about an hour or so. And I work on the whole project from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. You can make it with me, and or just come to chit chat in the evenings here. So we're working on the Triangle Tango quilt from Missouri Star Quilt Co. There we are. This is a nice, simple quilt with just one little block. This is the block right here. And we are repeating this block 168 times. So we are in the process of making our 168 blocks. Then they all get turned in special ways for the rows, and then we'll sew all the rows together. But this week we are working on the blocks. So I'm hoping we can get them all sewn today. And we will press them tomorrow, and then we will have all of our blocks like this ready to go for the next step of the process. And look at those cute little rainbows. All right, you guys, let's just get going right away here. I do have a link to the pattern below if you are interested in looking at that. Again, it's by Missouri Star Quilt Co. It's from their block book. So they put out a publication. It's in reverse for you guys, but it's block, and it is the Fall Volume 1, Issue 5. And again, I just put a link to it below here. And we're taking a little break from the Splendid Sampler 2 Quilt Along, which is a deep, in-depth kind of, we dig into each block, and there's a lot more learning and stuff involved there, and a lot more playing around. This one, we're just doing this one nice little block. This is our little relaxing time to take a break from the Splendid Sampler 2, and next week we're gonna crank on that project again. We've had our little break, and now we're gonna get back into that next week. So, all right, let's flip you around, and we'll get sewing. I want to get these guys done tonight. All right, you can see there's the poor little Splendid 2 sampler sitting there, but here is the stack of fabric that we sewed yesterday. So these are all done. Now we're just going to be sewing that one last strip onto the stack that we have left. So down to the machine. Here is our, we have our 8.5-inch strips. I have them on this side. I'm kind of grabbing from either side, which is kind of new to me. I haven't really ever done that before, but it makes sense. This fits in the neck of the machine right here. And I have all of my blocks facing the correct way, like they're all the pattern sides are here, because this is the side that needs the strip. So it's going to be real easy. I just grab from each side and we sew them together. So I think we got over halfway done last night. So we'll try and crank out these. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's one of those things that, there's more here than what you think. So let's get going on that. Let's pop off my shoes. It's always weird for me to use the pedal with shoes. And we are just going to continue from last night here. So I hope everyone is well tonight. It's nice seeing all your names pop up here again. I'm actually getting a little excited to start the Splendid Sampler again. Every once in a while, you just need a little bit of a break from a big project like that. This is actually turning into a little bit bigger project than it was in my head. It's easier, for sure. We're just making this one block, but then you multiply that by 168, and then it starts to take up some time again. So I think the 168 of these blocks, that's for like a king-size quilt. So, if you don't want it to take that long and you don't want a quilt that big, then it would go a whole lot faster. But yeah, tonight we will just be cruising through more of these blocks. Oh, your hub wasn't feeling well last night, but he's better now. Oh, that's good, Don. That's never fun. Oh, beautiful day there in eastern North Carolina. It was a little nicer today. It wasn't pouring rain. It was pretty still today. We sat on the stoop for about a couple minutes before I'm like, nah, I can't be out here without a coat. So we're not. I still got the long sleeves on, but I didn't wear my mittens or scarf when I went outside today, so that's new. I did manage to get to the Y today. That's the YMCA. That's all I went outside for today, though. Maybe I'll take a walk later. I don't know. It was a big on the computer day for me today, so this is nice to be sewing. On the Splendid Sampler, do I sew the sashing between the 4 blocks in the whole row and then do the back sash? I think so, Gretchen. I have not done that far yet, but that, I believe, is what my mom did. So for the quilt as you go, yeah, you can make a sashing for the whole way across. So obviously, if you're doing the sashing like I am with the little cornerstone in, you'll have to make a long piece of sashing from your 6.5-inch pieces, then that cornerstone, and then another 6.5. You'll have to make that long sashing. But yeah, for the back, you can just do the one big sashing. So I have not gone that far yet on mine, but I think I will once I have a full second row. I actually only have one row completed, but I think as soon as we get the second one, we'll probably give that a try. That requires a whole pile more free motion quilting time before I get that far. But I think I might have enough blocks to finish, the second grouping, the second row on my Splendid Sampler too. It just all needs to be sewn and quilted, which takes forever, but the blocks are done. Or I might need like just one more. I figure since we haven't sewn any in a while, we'll sew a few more blocks on the Splendid Sampler too, and then maybe we'll get to free motion quilting on it again. Oh, for sure. I think, Gretchen, you do have to do the initial sewing of that back sashing, just how we did our normal back sashing, but you don't have to do all that hand stitching it down until you're completely done. I mean, you could just wait till you're done with the whole quilt if you wanted to wait till then to hand stitch all this back sashing all at once. Oh, it's airplane o'clock too today. Sometimes we live kind of near the airport, and sometimes, some days when the weather is a certain way, I don't know what it is, but they'll send all the planes over our house, it seems. Been thinking of making it in, batiks for your granddaughter. Oh, that would be beautiful. Yeah, I'm itching to do a project with batiks lately. Batik fabric is that it's that dyed fabric that has a wax resist on it. So it looks like there's painted patterns on it, and those painted patterns might be one color, and that's the wax. So they do the wax first, and then they dip the fabric in another color, and the whole fabric gets dyed all the way through. So it doesn't have like a front and back like this fabric. It's all dyed all the way through. But then the wax, then you melt that wax off, or before you get the fabric, they melt that wax off, and then you get all these like painty, splattery designs. And they're just beautiful. So I've acquired a couple here and there. Like the last time I went to S.R. Harris, a fabric store here, I grabbed some batiks, and You know, I've been seeing more and more of them around, and they're, you know, so my brain is ticking off in the back of my head that I want to do something with batiks. Oh, you don't sew while I'm on, but you decided to finish sewing half square triangles. Nice. Yeah, I got a pile of those to trim too. Oh, press and trim actually. I all the half square triangles that I'm using for my leaders, I cut those in half and I need to press them open and trim them down. Ooh, getting a little off the edge there. Oh, maybe that, Deborah's saying maybe that's why batiks are more expensive because it's more work to produce. That could very, very easily be the reason. I don't know for a fact, but that sounds pretty likely to me. It's more handmade, really. You love them and have quite a collection of batiks. Ooh, Antoinette, that's exciting. So one of you here, I forget who, Jennifer, was it you? I can't quite remember, but someone here in this group is doing, or in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group at least, is doing their Splendid Sampler 2 out of batiks. And it's looking gorgeous. So who's doing that again? I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me know if you're in here tonight, but that's looking just gorgeous. And I wanna do something like that soon. I think I only have a couple batiks though. I really don't have enough to do anything quite quilty yet. Oh, they're hard to hand sew? Oh, not you, Jennifer. Okay, so let me know who is doing it. Oh yeah, but Gretchen, you're doing a patriotic one. That one's looking adorable too. But man, yeah, batiks lately, I've just like, man, I gotta do something with batiks. You know, a lot of it is too, is that I get excited about things I've never... Oh yeah, is Lucy doing it? Yes, okay, that's starting to sound right. I don't know if she's in here, but anyway. Well, if you're in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, then you can scroll through there. If not, ask to join and I'll let you in. The Penguin and Fish Crafters group is our group where we can just share what we're working on and chit chat about things. But yeah, I get excited about things I've never done or never used before. So those batiks, those are itching at my brain a little bit because I've never sewn a batik ever. I've never sewn with them or made anything out of them, and I'm kind of wanting to. We'll see. One of these days, my brain will just overflow, and then I'll have to make it immediately. Ooh, this buildup is driving me crazy behind here. The mountain's getting higher. You made your middle son a disappearing 9 square out of batiks. Ooh, that sounds beautiful, Jennifer. Oh yeah, we're talking about you, Lucy. Are you making the Splendid Sampler 2 with batiks? I couldn't remember who was making it with batiks. Weren't some of those sparkle fabrics batik? I don't think they were. I don't think the ones I don't think those sparkle fabrics were batiks, Gina, but that is the same time I bought the batiks. So I did share some of the batiks at that time. Oh, it is Lucy. Okay, so go into the Penguin and Fish Crafters group and check out Lucy's Splendid Sampler 2 progress with the batiks. We're talking about batiks, Lucy. But yeah, so that's when I bought a couple batiks, was when I bought that green sparkle fabric and made that hourglass quilt out of the green sparkle fabric. Oh, they were pretty. I should just bring those out again and hang them on the wall. The pretty batiks. Oh, you love sewing with them, Lucy. Ah, that's exciting. It's on my list. It's gonna overflow one of these days. Oh, cool, Pam. Ooh, or I'm not like, I feel like I'm gonna jinx myself, but like I feel like we don't have too many of these left. I mean, we do have a stack, but I feel like we maybe got more than halfway last night on these. So I'm hoping so. It'd be fun to get a start on pressing them, maybe. Although, again, it's one of those little tricks, visual tricks, these stacks of fabric. You think you're almost done, and then it lasts forever. Ooh, batiks would be beautiful in a cathedral window. With black? Ooh, that would be very pretty. Oh, Lucy, you made a small patchwork quilt with batiks. It's posted in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. Ooh, I'll have to check that out again. Definitely inspiring to see all those. Ah, overflow again. Just keep throwing them up on the mountain. Oh, Patricia, I'm sorry it's not coming through for you today. Although you probably can't hear me say that. Oh well. I'm glad we did have that cathedral window block for the Splendid Sampler 2, because I've never done one of those before either, and that was another thing that was ticking at the back of my head of like, ooh, I want to do a cathedral window quilt. And now doing that one cathedral window, I still kind of like the idea of doing a whole quilt of that, but it's tempered that need a little bit, just knowing how it's done and doing the one block for the Splendid Sampler 2. So I don't feel quite as strong of a pull to make a whole quilt, a whole cathedral window quilt. Even though it's still there, I still think it would be nice to do. I know, Gina, aren't these gonna be this is gonna be the cutest dang quilt that ever was with this fabric. And I mean, like, that's the reason I am doing this quilt, is because I found this cute fabric and needed to make something immediately that would show off this fabric. Oh, it looks like Shauna can't see or hear us either, so I don't know what the deal is today. It seems like most of you are okay, and it doesn't show anything on my end that it's being weird. So that's a bummer. Oh, there, now you can see and hear me. Cool. Ah, last one. They stick together. Well, if only one falls on the floor, then I think we've done pretty good. right, Doris, it's good for you. Okay. Oh, yours wasn't Mary. Yours wasn't working on the computer, but it's working on the phone. Ugh, for weird. Yep, the Facebook overlords. I guess that's exactly what's going on. The algorithms are deciding they don't need quilting in. It doesn't need to be any more quilting in people's lives. That's what they're doing. Jerk butts. Oh no, Jennifer. You've started your free motion quilting on the Splendid Temper 2, and guess what? I'm horrible! Keep going, Shauna. I did that whole quilt. If you want to see some horrible free motioning, some first-timey free motioning too, I did some of that on the Charming Chevrons quilt. The Charming Chevrons quilt was the quilt that I decided, okay, I'm going to learn how to free motion quilt on this quilt. I think that's kind of neat, though. Like, keep going with the quilt. And we'll do some free motion here again, too. But that's like one of my most favorite things about the about the Charming Chevrons quilt. Again, that's the quilt that I tried to practice my free motion quilting. Each chevron, like it was just like a zigzag. So each zigzag row, I just was a row for me to practice the free motion quilting. And I love seeing the progress. So I started at the top and then went all the way to the bottom. And it's the quilt. I mean, the quilt is a reminder of what I learned. You know what I mean? And I think that makes it more special than it being like, perfect all the way through. Are the granny square quilt patterns similar to another? I'm not sure, Glennis. I know that the one that I posted here, the one that I'm hoping to do yet here, I read through the instructions and it was not what I was expecting. I don't know how the other one is. Oh, Kathy, try to just grab some scrap batting and two like little scrap pieces of fabric, like like maybe I don't know, like a 14-inch or a 12-inch squares of fabric or something, just something you just have around, and just start giving it a try. Try moving it around and start just seeing, like feeling it in the sense of like, oh wow, I move really quick this way and I have some really big leaps. Big stitches, how do I work on that? Or, just try on that practice thing too. I have a practice one by me. So when we start up free motion quilting again, I'll definitely get that out first and see if I even remember how to do it. Just to get a feel of things. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what Nolene says right there. And actually, actually, I saw, or did someone post this at some point? I don't know. It's in my head that I saw someone, they took all their little practice free motion quilt, chunks, all these little squares that they're practicing their free motion quilting on, and they cut them up and made like little pouches out of them, like put a little zipper pouch in, and I'm like, dang, that is a cute idea for all your free motion quilting practice bits. Oh, Nancy, yay, I'm glad you're learning. This clear table, I didn't always have this clear table. I used to just have the rest of my sewing machine. I took there's a part that goes onto the sewing machine yet that makes it a little flatter. But I got this table from sewingmates.com. I might even have a link in here still for them, and I should. If I don't, I'll have to make sure it's there for tomorrow. But what I like about this table, so you can get clear tables like this from a lot of different places, and they will make it especially for your sewing machine. So you like give them the part number of your sewing machine or whatever, I don't know, the name and year of your sewing machine. However, I didn't like that. I wanted to not be beholden to like this machine, because this is an old machine. I didn't know, like, what if it breaks? Then I'll have just this table this clear table that I won't be able to use for anything else. So I started doing a search for adjustable sewing tables, because I figured there's got to be one that works for every machine. And you would be surprised, there was not, like, this is the only thing I found. And I looked for a little while. So this is called the Sew Adjustable Table by Sewing Mates. And that's Barbara Greer, and she pops in here every once in a while. So I think maybe she's here, I don't know. But they manufacture these tables, and you can see on my, like, there's all these bolts and stuff all over the place. It's not all like perfectly, clear. There's all these extra pieces of acrylic. That's because it's adjustable. I can undo like these wing nuts underneath here and move all of these pieces. I can change the height. I can change everything so it fits perfectly. There's a back piece here. I can fit it all for my exact machine. And so I can take this off and adjust it for any other machine I might end up using it for. So that was totally the selling point for me. And I love it. I got the 18-inch one. I think it comes in 3 different sizes. And I got the 18-inch one just because, I mean, the bigger one, I think there's like a 24-inch or something one, or a 30, I don't know, a bigger one. And I didn't get that one because I am working in a small space here. I'm just at my like small dining room table here in the evenings. So I didn't want something so big. But this is a great size. I like it. But yeah, just the idea that I can use it for any sewing machine just made it make sense for me. All right, my stack's getting smaller. Oh man, you guys, I went to the YMCA this afternoon to go swimming, and I hadn't done that in like 4 or 5 days or so, and holy cow, it's hard to do when you haven't done it for a few days. I was zonked out. Oh, Nancy, that's your daughter's soon-to-be mother-in-law. Oh, so funny. I thought that table looked familiar. Oh, so crazy. Small world. Yep, it's the Sew Adjustable table. by sewing mates. I love it. Oh, and just so you guys know, they're the same people that do the grippets. So I know when we do the free motion quilting, I get a lot of questions about the grippets. It's the same company here. Gosh, this is pedal all the way down to the floor. I want to try something like this on that industrial juki that I have in the basement. I haven't learned that machine very well yet. I got it on Craigslist a few years ago, and it just isn't its time to be used a lot yet. But I'm gonna. But I bet you it's just like whoosh through. This one I'm kind of pedal all the way down, and I still have to kind of wait for it. But you know, it's not like I'm doing this sort of thing very often. This type of sewing. But on the right quilt, like this one, for example, I bet you it'd speed thing up. Oh, you forgot! You got some grippets for Christmas! Nice, Shauna. Yeah, now that we're talking about free motion quilting again, I'm getting excited for that again, and I'll get the grippets out for that, for sure. Oh, my piles are feeling smaller. I think these are the last, oh wait, no, there's some hiding in there. Oh no, these are the last of the gray stars. There's no more in the stack after we get through this little bit. That means we're getting to the end. Yay! I think we're gonna have time to press a little tonight. I don't know. Those sound like some famous last words, so I keep feeling like I'm gonna jinx myself today. The hubs and you have already started the thermostat war. We're not too bad about that. So that's good. I know other family members deal with that, but John and I that's not one of our things. Every once in a while, like, it'll be too hot in his room and too cold in mine just because the air and the heat, they get to our rooms in different timing, so sometimes like mine's cooled off before the heat can get there, so then we'll adjust a little bit, but it's never really a big thing. Gretchen, you have no clue. You can control it from your iPad. That's funny. Hey, Kathy. Thanks again for joining me here tonight, you guys. I would be sad if I didn't get to see my quilty friends in the evening. Ugh, we're getting dusty. Definitely have to clean up here again before getting back to the splendid sampler to quilt along. Oh, Renee, I missed I can't see the rest of your comment. I can only see, when you guys type, I can only see maybe about 20 words of a comment on my screen, that what I'm seeing. Nice, Robin. Bonnie, that was the thing when we were growing up, when we were cold. It was like, put a sweater on. I think that's almost one of our family's catchphrases now. Oh, Renee, you got the iron. Exciting. You're going to love it. Don't worry. You are going to love, love, love it. Not having that cord, it really makes us just It makes life happier, that's for sure. You have to tell us what you think of it once it comes. Awesome. Ooh, this Moda. So this is the Moda fabric. The Moda is a little softer than that Robert Kaufman fabric. It's kind of interesting. And I mean, this white is just a white, just a bleached, pretty raw muslin. So this is, definitely a little scratchier, a little rougher. Oh, Deborah loves her iron too. Wonderful invention. Here, and why wasn't it invented a lot longer ago? That's what's baffling to me. I mean, by now they should all be like Bluetooth operated or something, right? Oh, Gina, I am on a 70s Kenmore sewing machine, a Sears Kenmore sewing machine. This was my mom's sewing machine in college. I can't remember what year it is. I would have to look it up again. I can't quite remember. I always forget. Which iron? I am talking about, Molly. This, it's I don't think I have it on. Okay, good. It's cold. It's the Panasonic, here's the little code, but it's actually called the Panasonic cordless 360 iron. And look, it's not, there's no cord here. I can bring it wherever I want and it'll be hot and perfect. It's amazing. So that's the beauty of it, is it has a base that you plug in and you can stick it back in the base, but to heat it up again, but it holds its heat for a long time. But you can take it out of the base and then it doesn't have a cord and you can just go iron your stuff for a while without having a cord dangling everywhere or having to manipulate the cord out of your way so you don't iron over your cord. It's like the most perfect thing. Not having that stupid cord. It's your all-time favorite iron, so Gretchen's all-time favorite iron. I mean, seriously, just not having that cord. And that's what I'm just so, like, it's just dumb. Like, why isn't that a thing across all of these irons? It's just, I can't believe it's not more game-changing to the industry. Like, why aren't there a pile of other manufacturers doing cordless irons now? I just kind of don't get it. Because it's awesome. It's so awesome. Yeah, it is a pricey iron, if I remember right. But, if you get other irons that, are out there that are like really good high quality, they're pretty pricey too. But yeah, just the not having the cordless, it's like, dang. Or just, that it's cordless, that it doesn't have that cord. Which, we were talking about this the other night. That's how all irons used to be, right? You'd put your iron and heat it up on the stove, and then you'd have your hot iron, right? And you could carry that wherever you wanted all around. They messed it up with that cord. The inventor should have always been thinking, oh yeah, have the hot surface that it warms up on. Then instead of making this dang cord, they could have put the cord to whatever this hot surface was and still have the cordless iron. See, so whoever first got that cord going on it, they missed the boat a little bit. Totally, Adrian. Why isn't it like a disruptor in the industry, It should be. Maybe us all talking about it will make it the disruptor of the industry. Actually, what if the what if the sewing machine magically pressed these seams open as we sewed them? That would be a disruptor. That would be a game changer. Think about that. That'd be a little bit of magic. You know, like what if right at this point it was popping it open and ironing it for me? I could tell it like what side I wanted the seam, if I wanted the seam going to the left or the right. Dang, right? That would be good. Think of all the time you would save. I mean, for this project, at least 2 days, because it took a day to press the first round of these strips, and it's going to take a day for the next round. Well, 2 hours, I suppose. But sheesh, that would be some magic. I mean, they make these sewing machines now that can do basically everything else. Like it can sew on and fold a binding all at once. They gotta figure out that little, they can do all that free motion quilting. They can draw on it with those embroidery machines and stuff now. Little iron wouldn't be too hard. Yeah, and press without heat somehow. Yeah, see, there you go, Gretchen. Exactly. Man, we need to be on some design team at one of these companies. Star Trek, half square triangle, hot pressed. And trimmed. Now add some trim into it. Get rid of both my steps that I don't like the most. Nothing bad with that. Yes, a quilter's think tank. Seriously, that'd be great. Oh, nice, Jennifer. Good work. Yes, a hot scant quarter foot that would, you could sew with it and it'd automatically flip your seam open and press it. There you go. Someone needs to get writing a patent. Oh, the stack is so tall. I'd rather be tall than fall to the floor, though. So it's going to be tall on my table here. Oh man, it's already 9:15. See, we're at the stage where the pile just never gets shorter. And the time keeps ticking. I was hoping we'd get a press just a hair tonight, but not sure now. Stack is getting lower though. We'll definitely finish sewing absolutely no matter what. I think we will before we're done here. So maybe we will press a couple pieces tonight. Then we can take a look at the iron again too, which I love. Yeah, man, you wouldn't have to have an iron on your table heating up. That would save space too, if the machine just did it for you. Wouldn't have to have a cutting table around because the machine would just do it for you, trim things for you. I'm guessing that machine would cost a pile of money though. Maybe it should just be like a little foot that we put on it. Oh, you forgot where you're at. You almost forgot where I'm at. That it's 11:15. Yeah, we haven't gone that far over, Robin. Yep, I'm Central Time. So you must be out east somewhere. Actually, now that I think of it, is that pretty confusing for you guys? Should I put somewhere, like list somewhere? I probably should put this right on the Penguin and Fish page. You know, I say 8:30 Central Time, but should I throw in some more like Pacific and Eastern on there too? So it's a little easier to figure out? Let me know. I can kind of change that. Ooh, it's late by you, Jennifer. Oh, wait, that's afternoon. Never mind. Sunny afternoon. I always get that weird 12 p.m. a.m. thing messed up. Put both times up? Okay, that would be great. Okay, I will, I'll do that. I'll at least put, I won't put everywhere, but I'll put Eastern and Pacific on there. Oh yeah, and you're in the future too. That's right, Jennifer. In the future. Oh no, Gretchen. Well, we haven't even planted anything yet, so. Although yesterday they, or not yesterday, our lettuce did come up from last year, so that's cool. We just have this lettuce that keeps regrowing every year. It just seeds itself, and we might actually have some lettuce outside that we're able to pick and eat already. We haven't planted anything else even. That'd be cool if that just, we had a lot of that this year again. That was our best thing last year, was our lettuce, and we didn't plant it last year either. We planted it 2 years ago, and that year actually didn't do all that well. Then we just let it go, and last year was amazing for lettuce. Actually, now that I think of it, we're gonna have to get our hoses out so it can be watered at least. Well, that's the thing, Gretchen. I'm not sure it's meant to be. Like, it seems like something people plant every year, but, and you know, we plant kale and the kale doesn't come back, but for some reason this lettuce keeps coming back. Oh, today was beautiful in Idaho. That's awesome, Shauna. I think this weekend it may get a little bit better here. It is actually pretty nice out today, but not, I wouldn't call it warm yet. Ooh, kale with raisins. I have not had that before. Oh, Molly, lucky, lucky. Molly's planted her garden 6 weeks ago. You have tomatoes, beans, and peppers growing. That's amazing. pretty much for sure we had snow 6 weeks ago yet. Where is it? Like, it doesn't... Well, in the mountains they probably still have snow, but isn't Colorado, like, dealing with snow and stuff right now? Ugh. We had a frost warning the other day, but I'm not sure if it actually did get cold enough for that. Lettuce, they go to seed and will pop up year after year. Awesome. Well, that's what's happening. And it's delicious. If you let lettuce seed... Oh, I missed some of it. Oh, that's why you moved, Molly. That's why you moved away from New York. We have a friend who lives in Texas now who used to live here. And by her, it sounds like they're having like a rattlesnake infestation or something crazy like that. That's one of the things about Minnesota and the Midwest. There's like, the animals aren't going to kill you. Like, there's no huge deadly spiders or deadly snakes or anything like that. So that's nice. I'm happy about that. The gophers are pretty scary. Yeah, I wish everything we planted is like our lettuce. I wish we didn't have to plant it all. I wish it would all just come up. I suppose if you did it right, that would happen. Yeah, there's only 3 left here. Do I have 3 of these? Okay, good. Perfect. We have the right amount of pieces. I was scared I was gonna have a different amount of blocks than strips, but only 3. Oh, you know what? We're not gonna press tonight. I still have to trim all these apart. See, all these steps are just big steps when you have 168 of them to do. So we could snip these apart tonight yet, though. That will be prepping for ironing. So that's what we'll do instead. So I'll put my little snippy guy together, my that little trick with the seam ripper. We'll do that. And we'll snip all these apart. Last one. Ooh, you grew artichokes once. They came back for about 4 years. Oh, dang. Well, that sounds good. I should try that. I mean, you know, we do squash. I suppose if you let squash go to seed, like in theory, they would just keep growing, don't you think? I don't know. If you just let them like rot in the ground there instead of cleaning them up at the end. I don't know, it beats me. All right, I need a leader here. Get some of my little fabrics. So these are the leaders. Remember, I'm making half square triangles out of my leaders. See, there we go. So instead of just putting a little piece of fabric in here, I'm actually putting together 2 pieces that will actually be something at some point. All right, that's it. Let's snip this and we'll head up here. There is, look, here's the stack. It grew. It's huge. All right, so let's get our little snipper tool out, and that is a spool of thread and my seam ripper, sticking that in the top like that. So there we go, our little tool. And now I'm gonna attempt to go through this stack. Let's see, I think You know what? I think I'm going to move this guy right away because we don't need him for tomorrow. Oh, but here, now you can see a little bit more. Like, look at all the adjustable points on this table. It really is kind of neat. All right, I'm going to just scooch that to the floor. Okay, there. Now we have a little bit more space to work in. Fuzzles everywhere. Okay, there's our guy, and I'm going to just snip all these apart. And I'm going to try and place them in a stack so they're facing all the same way. That'll make it easier tomorrow when we want to press it. Let's see, is it easier to hold it? So I gotta just get a rhythm with my hands. There, I think that's easier. Like an easier motion for my hand. Dang, I would love to grow olives. That is definitely, I don't think, a thing we can grow here. That would be amazing. So, all right, we are prepping 167, snipping 167 of these tonight, so we'll get them all prepped for tomorrow. I always forget little steps like this, but they all take time, all these little steps. Oh, you draw a map of your garden every year before you plant. I bet you have a very pretty garden. Man, I've been seeing more and more gardens that people are working on their Instagrams and stuff, or Facebook, and oh, there are some pretty ones out there. Definitely in places where I'm not living. Yep, Shauna, that is exactly what my little tool is. I got the cover stuck in there right now. I got to pop it out. But yeah, it is just instead of using my scissors for all these, because normally I would just have the scissors and I'd be snipping, but that gets pretty hard on my hand after a while. And there is a Notion, a tool for this job, but it's basically this, right? So it's my seam ripper and just trimming all these. And when we did the half square triangles, I was able to, I had it attached here and here. So like if it was like this, we had sewn on both sides. So I was able to grab both and snip them both at once. That was some time saving this. But I think this is at least saving my hands a little bit over the scissors. Oop, missed. Oh, it's exciting when it's in like pile format here. Or stack format. You know what? You never use a thread cutter on your machine. Oh, dang. Mine does not have a thread cutter. Oh, you mean the one up on the side? I'm not even sure mine has that. Oh, it might, and I just don't use it. I think mine might have a thread cutter there, but not for this sort of stuff. All right, getting unruly here now. My pile's collapsed. Ooh, pecans. That'd be good too. We do not have those either in this climate. All that good stuff. I would want oranges and pecans and grapes and olives. All that would be amazing. It's getting to be strawberry season, though. That's always fun. I used to work on a strawberry and apple farm, and there's nothing better than a strawberry that you pick off of the vine that has been sitting in the sunlight and it's warm. Those are good. Oh, pecan trees grow in Illinois? Oh, man. That's good to know. Maybe we can grow them here then. That would be fun to have a pecan tree out front. Ooh, a mango tree. That sounds amazing. Yum. Ooh, 2 macadamia nut trees. That's amazing. They're laden with nuts. Oh, cool. My parents have a hickory nut tree. And one year we picked just a whole pile of them just for fun. Like we all just like all of a sudden we're like, ooh, let's pick all these hickory nuts. And so all of a sudden we were doing this goofy task. And we got all these hickory nuts and then we shelled them all. Like we took the shells off of all of them and then we had them on this rack to dry for a couple days. And my dad went back out there like a few days later and there were hundreds and every single one of them was gone. Gone. And my dad had been finding them in the shed ever since, basically. So a mouse had taken, or a chipmunk or something had taken every single one of these nuts that we shelled and eaten them. We didn't get to have any after all that work. But those are yummy. Oh, we are going to have quite the stack here again. And you know what? I think we're over time already, and I think we're going to actually be going for another at least good 15 minutes here, trimming all these. But I do want to get them trimmed before tomorrow, because I want to get these done tomorrow. So starting next week, we're going to be switching off of this project for a little while, and we'll be working back on the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along. We'll work on a couple blocks. It was suggested that we do that sunshine block, which I thought was a great idea because, you know, we've been doing all these cute little sunshine guys with this. It'd be a good little transition back into the Splendid Sampler 2. And Monday, I won't be here because it'll be Memorial Day weekend. So I won't be here on Monday, but I'll be here the rest of the week. Yeah, they thought those little mice were so happy we did all that work for them. But it was just so surprising because there were so many of those hickory nuts that we got, and they're just gone. All right, so this stack is starting to be really kind of awkward to lay things on because it's so, like, it's only one layer of fabric here, and then with the seam there's a lot, so it's like kind of blooping up and it's just being a little weird. So I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to just start another stack here, and I'll put the stacks on top of each other when we're done here tonight. But it was getting weird to stack. And you can see now they're starting to get a little wrinkled, and that's because they've been sitting in my pile here. so my pile isn't the best way to keep things all nice and flat. But oh well. They'll get ironed again when we press these open, so I'm not worried. Then they won't be in a pile anymore. After that, we will have them in a nice stack. Oh, Gina, I definitely will give everyone a heads up before we start the splendid, or not the splendid sampler, the granny square quilt. I'll for sure announce that before in my newsletter. So on my emails, if you're on my email list, I'll announce it there for sure. And I'll give enough heads up for it too, for people to get their fabric and the pattern and all that. And you can get on the newsletter on penguinandfish.com. And I think I have a link here for the newsletter as well. Macadamia nuts. Those are the ones that are kind of big and are moon shaped, right? Or, oh no, those are Brazil nuts. Never mind. Oh, our stack is all of a sudden looking smaller, so that's good. Yeah, I know. I wanted to start the granny square quilt ages ago, and all these other projects just keep taking a while. Like the splendid sampler lesson, and then we started to do the second one, and then I got busy with Target, our embroidery kits at Target, so that we had some growing to do there, things to figure out, so that kind of took up all my time. So now that my brain's back, I'm hoping we can get going on some of these other projects again. And then, this was a pop-up project. This was an unplanned one that was just, I bought some fabric and needed to do something immediately. Hard round shells. Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what they are now, but for a moment they were Brazil nuts in my head. And I'm like, wait, no, those are Brazil nuts. Yeah, they kind of have they're not so crunchy. They have like a good give to them, like a good peanut butter cookie. If I remember correctly. Oh, you need like a sledgehammer to break them. Not cashews. I'm thinking about those for Brazil nuts. I'm thinking about those big. They're kind of like a black color, and they're like this big in the shell. Or maybe I'm not even thinking of the right thing for that either. Man, I don't know. I apparently have a whole topic I need to know more about. The nut that makes hummus, that's a chickpea, isn't it? That's a bean. Oh, you have to hit them with a sledgehammer, and then they fly around everywhere when you hit them. Oh no! You need like a what are the, like a pneumatic, that's the wrong word. Pneumatic? I don't know. One of those presses that just keep pressing. Crunch them down. Pneumatic press. Does that sound right? Ugh. It's late. Words and math, first things to go. Zoop. All right, we're getting there. I can see the bottom of the stack almost. I would think so, Shauna. So the hubs just left, which makes me think that he might be buying peanut butter cookies, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That's just what I'm going to pretend that he's doing in my head. All right, I think there's maybe about 15 more or so, if I had to guess. But we're down to the moons. Those have been at the bottom. Getting there. That's nice, Nolene. Earn what you eat. Down to our little gray rainbows. These are the most wrinkly ones. All these were at the bottom of the stack. Just 3 more. And last guy. All right. Ooh, I almost forgot about this. I was going to stab myself. So I get this, the cover of my seam ripper stuck in there, so I've got to kind of pop it out. I can't. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That was kind of fun to watch. All right, so here is our stack. I'm going to actually stack them on top of each other now, our 2 little stacks. So we are all, oh geez, it's really big. This is all ready to press for tomorrow. Look at them all, there's a bajillion of them. That is a hefty stack right there. But they are sewn, so we only have the one less step, for sure now, just the one last step of pressing them all to get our blocks here. So that's all we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to press them open like this guy, and our big stack of them are just going to sit around until finish it Friday, when we'll lay them all out. We'll figure out where they go in the quilt. So then back to the Splendid Sampler after tomorrow. So all right, I'm going to flip you guys around and we'll call it an evening. All right, so we did it. And yeah, I always forget about those little extra steps. So here we go. Let me show you guys again. It's big. That's a pretty good looking stack. It looks cool when they're all facing the same way like that. That's just kind of neat. You get this little white bit and then all the dark bits there. Neat. All right, so that's going to help us a ton that they're facing all the same direction there, because then we could just grab and press them open tomorrow. So that'll be good. Ooh, hopefully I didn't bend them. Nope, they're good to go. Great. So we'll be using the fun cordless iron tomorrow. One of my favorite things. That and the wool pressing mat. So we'll be doing that. That'll take the whole time tomorrow, but we'll be done with these blocks by then. So awesome, you guys. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That is 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. All right, you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening.